has been defined differently. Most of us know business to be, a building with a manager, a CEO, with, everything, but a small business is also a business. Someone selling, vegetables and fruits on the side of the road, they are in informal business. And, tonight that's the kind of business that I want to talk to you about, a business that has allowed me to escape what I referred at that time as my poverty. And I'm hoping that after, the speakers that will be coming in after my presentation, get inspired to also start, pushing this business and ensuring that, your plans prosper. So, we have dreams, you want to live a better life, people want to take their children to better schools, maybe you want to go on holiday, maybe you want to extend your house, you want to buy a new car, whatever your dreams are, many of us are unable to achieve our dreams and goals because we are living in fear. And it's fear of the unknown. We don't even know what we are fearing. But what I have come to realize is a lot of people fear failure. People fear not being able to attain those goals. So they would rather not do anything than just to launch into something new, just get out of their comfort zone, get involved in business and see where it takes them. So for as long as we are living in fear, we will never be able to achieve our goals. I mean, I don't even want to imagine what would have happened in my life had I said no to Long Reach. I don't want to imagine where I would be tonight if I didn't make a decision to just break out of my fears, fear of what people are going to say, of how people are going to look at me, and just break out of that fear and go and, fight for my dreams and my goals. And, that's the only way that many of us will be able to achieve our goals and dreams. You have to break out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone can be your salary that you are earning from work. Your comfort zone can be, that, you've got somebody that's providing for you. Your comfort zone can be your degree. It can be just about anything. But if, you're just like me and many others who are in this room who want to escape poverty, you'll have to break out of that comfort zone. Now, here's the thing about breaking out of a comfort zone. It's not very easy because, any type of change requires you to do something different. It requires you to stretch yourself. And one simple thing can be just to make a decision to change. It can be as simple as of tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit more committed in my business. As of tomorrow, I'm going to sign up for this business. As of tomorrow, I'm going, actually not even tomorrow, today, because a lot of us, our future rather, depends on the decisions that we make now. There's a very interesting book that I'm reading about the power of now. I'll talk about it some other time, but, I'd like to encourage those who are book lovers to get that book. There is so much power in making a decision now, but it's not just making a decision, also ensure that you implement your decision. I can make a decision that, I'm going to start running 5 kilometers a day. But if I don't wake up tomorrow morning and run those 5 kilometers, my decision was just that, a decision that was never put into action. So a lot of you will have to, put your decisions and your plans into action. And that's the only way that you will see or realize prosperity. Now, this is a business that has allowed me to achieve my goals. Long Reach Bioscience, it's a business that's based in China. It's available in many countries, in a few continents. There is a manufacturing plant in Nigeria on our soil, the African soil. So there's been quite a lot of development in this business. There are about more than 2,000 products. So why would I still stick to Long Reach, or why would I choose business such as a company such as Long Reach and not many other businesses that are available out there? Here is the fact: the more you have in your basket, the higher your chances of success. You are not limited to just one product. If product A does not work for your market, at least you can push product B, move on to C and D and so forth. What's also great about it is the price range. I mean, if product E is, more on the expensive side, you can choose to sell a product that is affordable within your market. So that is what makes Longreach such a unique opportunity. But I'm not here to talk about the company itself, but rather to talk about the products. I've spoken about the sanitary pads for ever since I've been in this business, but this is a product that has enabled me to really break out of my comfort zone, and many other products. But I found this product to be easy. It's very, it's a product that every woman uses. There are more females than males, and every girl child. I mean, we have children as young as 9, 10 years old that are now starting to go on their period. Now, the main goal here was just about educating parents about using the correct sanitary pads. And it's not just parents, but also women and young girls about using the correct sanitary pads. And what does that take? That took me breaking out of my comfort zone, having to go and talk about, something such as menstrual health. It can be a taboo in certain social classes, but yes, for some people, it might be an easy topic to launch on. Like for, a man, it might not be very easy to talk about, menstrual health. But when you have a product such as Longreach, you're not just talking or advocating menstrual, topic, but you are advocating health. You are advocating prevention of certain illnesses, because the World Health Organization has proven that more than 62, or the survey that they conducted, indicated that more than 62% of the diseases that women experience and illnesses are due to poor quality sanitary napkin. So that on its own makes you very important within society. It means that you are able to address the issue that the World Health Organization has brought forward in our lifetime. Now, if the sanitary napkin, or something as easy as a sanitary napkin, of which some of people or young girls do not have access to, can cause a lot of the problems that we are experiencing as women, what more about giving them a solution that can help them prevent more than 6 out of 10 problems that we are experiencing? Now, every woman will just confirm this, but a woman will go through either one of the 5 issues every time they go on their period. It's either they experience some itchiness, or inflammation of the cervix or the vagina. They could have a heavy flow. Some would have lower abdominal pains. Some will have headache, severe pain. Some will have cramps and all sorts of things. So every single woman will go through this, at least one of these, every once in a month. And that's about 12 times a year. So that makes you relevant 12 times a year. Every single month, you become relevant in the life of a woman. Now, what is so special about the Longreach sanitary napkin? So it's just to compare what is available in the market. We know that most of the sanitary pads that are available, they do not meet the standards, for quality control. And that was based on, again, a research that was conducted in China when they sampled, sanitary napkins. Now, you and I will never know whether the sanitary napkin that we are using meets the standard that is set by the National Quality Control until Longreach came forth and started showing us what a proper sanitary napkin should look like. Sorry, I'm just, what a proper sanitary napkin should look like. So with most of the sanitary napkins that are available in the market, fact number one is that some of them are made out of recycled material. There's paper pulp, there's recycled material, and how you know that a sanitary napkin has some component of recycled material is when you pour water on the sanitary pad, and you leave it for some time, it can be a few moments. If you were to compare it with a sanitary napkin that uses organic material, you will notice that the sanitary pad that has a recycled material turns yellowish. The reason why it turns yellowish is because bleach has been used to turn the recycled material and make it look white. And that's just a simple chemical reaction. If you mix a white cotton with jig, or if you put cotton in jig and put it in water, you will see that it takes a different color. So it kind of like becomes yellow. So that already tells you that the pad that you are using has been recycled. Now, we know that the other problem is that if you look at the sanitary napkin, just remove the top layer. If you look at the top layer and if you squeeze it out and it stretches, that also tells you that they use plastic material. And here's the thing about plastic: at high temperatures, it starts to release its chemical composition. And ladies, we do know that whatever that is lying, on the inside, the vagina lining does absorb it because of it's very sensitive. So whatever that is on the sanitary napkin, the vagina lining will absorb it. If it's the chemical bleaching that they have used, the industrial glue that they use to stick the material together, all of that will be absorbed by the vagina lining. And where does it all go to? It travels up the reproductive system. And that's where it causes a lot of problems. So it's the recycled material. The second thing is that with that recycled material, it gets bleached. And the other thing is that there's plastic. And that plastic actually causes, that's what causes itchiness in most, that is experienced by most ladies and young girls. Now, the other thing that you also need to know of is in the process of purifying or of processing the paper pulp, there is a byproduct called dioxin. Now, this dioxin can be found in many things. It can be found in fish. It can be found even on the chicken skin. It really is a nasty byproduct. However, the thing about dioxin, if it is found on a sanitary pad, is the amount of exposure that a woman has to dioxin. Because on average, a woman will go on her cycle once every month, and at least anything between 4 to 7 days. And that means if you can just multiply 24/7, those are the number of hours that a woman is exposed to dioxin. You can multiply that 7/12, that's the number of hours that a lady is exposed to dioxin in a year. And on average, a woman will use about 16,000 plus minus 16,000 sanitary napkin, and that's on average. It can be a little bit more, it can be a little bit less. So if it's more than 16,000, you can just imagine how much of exposure does a woman have on average through her lifespan to dioxin. Now, what that means is there is so much dioxin that is being absorbed in the body. And the thing about dioxin is that it stays in the body for up to 7 years. So say you've had exposure to dioxin and for 7 years, there isn't that long-term exposure. It can get out of the body. But now with females, we are that unfortunate. Now, the disadvantage or the side effect of dioxin is that it has also been listed as one of the carcinogens, so that means that it can cause cancer. Another thing, dioxin has also been found to cause a lot of the birth deficiencies and miscarriages. So as a distributor or as somebody looking for a business opportunity, I would imagine by now you're starting to realize that actually this is a business that can work for me. It makes me so relevant in the community that I live in. It makes me so relevant in a time where everyone is conscious about their health. And, we are all now open to or people are now more open to any suggestion that will help them, live longer, because that's what people want. People don't want to die, And now the last thing about the long reach sanitary napkin is that they have got a higher absorption. They absorb up to, twice the capacity of a normal sanitary pad. Why is that absorption so important? So here's the thing about, the menstrual blood. It sits on a sanitary pad. After 3-4 hours, there's fungus that starts, let me not say 4, anything between 2 and 3 hours, there's fungus that start to develop. You will see that blood start to turn black and greenish, and that's fungus and bacteria. And again, ladies and gentlemen, where does that go? It gets absorbed into the female reproductive system. And that's where we start having a whole lot of issues. But if you were to now look at the long reach sanitary pad, you would realize that things have been done quite differently. So Long Reach went and did a whole research on, I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like my daughter was scribbling, but Long Reach has done a whole research on the sanitary napkins that are in the market. I've got about 3 minutes, I'll be closing up. Now, in terms of the sanitary napkin from Long Reach, fact number 1, the pads are made out of organic material. That means that nothing has been recycled. That means that industrial glue was not used. That means that there is no dioxin on the sanitary napkin. And as I've already mentioned, that it has got twice the absorption capacity compared to the normal sanitary napkin. The biggest thing about the sanitary napkin is that it has got an anion strip, or the green strip. What's great about the green strip is that it releases a molecule called anion. Anion is a molecule that we also have in our bodies. Actually, your bloods can also show the anion gap. What is the important function of anion is that when it combines with oxygen, it helps with transportation of oxygen inside the body. It has got the ability to reduce, menstrual pain, and it also helps with making the process of healing faster. We have seen people who had, burns. We've seen people who had, a whole lot of other illnesses and cuts and stuff. If they use an anion, it helps with a quickening the healing. And how it does that is, our bodies have been made in such a way that whenever there is an attack, the immune system is able to fight off that inflammation. So what anion does is it wakes up the body's fighting mechanism. And that's why ladies now would report that, the menstrual pain aren't as severe if they've not completely disappeared, and also when it comes to the panty liner, what the anion does, because it has got the anion strip, it's got magnetic and far infrared, it also helps with the secretion of anything that is inside the female reproductive system. We have seen ladies who will, is my sound clear? Can somebody just let me know if
it is clear.
am clear?
It is perfect.
Okay, I just received the message that my internet connectivity was unstable. So also with using the panty liner, that not only helps with I was just saying that with some of the ladies, they have experienced either some funny discharge or that has got some smell when they're using the panty liner for the first time. That's because as women, we are walking around with things inside, our uterus, inside the female reproductive system. But what Long Reach panty liner does is it helps with the secretion of all of that. It also helps with increasing the secretion of from the vagina, and by so doing, it destroys any bacteria that lies on inside the vagina lining. Now, like I said, if you were to look at a product such as this, it makes you relevant. It makes business sense to go and promote a product that every woman needs. What's also great about it is when it comes to absorption, ladies, we know the number one thing that, you know, every woman would complain about is leakage, because the sanitary pads that are available in the market and that efficient when it comes to absorption. But with long reach sanitary pads, we know, we have seen, it does help with absorption. So therefore that minimizes accidents that women would otherwise experience if they're using other sanitary napkins. And because it absorbs, it also helps with getting rid of, you know, that ugly smell that women would have when they are on their period. Okay, I'm a little bit, I think we're supposed to finish just around 7:45. And then just one other thing in terms of, you know, summary of the sanitary pads that we have, as I've already mentioned, they preserve health, they help us live longer. You know, cancer or cervical cancer is caused by, you know, the HP virus, but there are many other cancers. There's cancer of the uterus, there's cancer of the ovaries, you know, there's the female reproductive system on its own. So I normally get people saying, but we can't be talking about cervical cancer because we know what causes cervical cancer, but there are other cancers in the female reproductive system. And with the long reach sanitary pad, because it is manufactured using organic products that are not recycled, we are now minimizing the chances of cancer. And therefore, we're able to preserve health because the sanitary napkin has a green strip that is antibacterial. So therefore, that minimizes the bacteria or the exposure to bacteria. And I mean, for young girls, just think about a young girl that starts on her period at the age of 9. You are able to save her. You know, the problems and the issues that we are experiencing, our children or the younger generation doesn't have to go through that when we know that there is a product specifically manufactured for women who care about their health. You know, it eliminates odor. It also improves with the endocrine function. It enhances immunity. It relieves stress. One other benefit that, you know, I can testify on is, you know, PMS. I used to suffer a lot from PMS, which is the premenstrual syndrome. So when somebody has PMS, you know, they become moody. They eat a lot of chocolate just, you know, a few days before they go on their period. You know, you can't just say anything. You have to be very careful. So I used to go through such. And I mean, you know, it's a common thing. If you've had PMS, when you start menstruating, it almost like you live with it, you know, until, you know, there's some hormonal change. But ever since using the long reach sanitary pad, I no longer suffer from such. I don't know if there are any questions related to the long reach sanitary pad. Okay.
Yes, I have a question. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, on the
Yes.
On the sanitary pad, I know you keep saying it is organic. Apart from the cotton that is being used, what other products are in the pad? What are the linings and everything else?
I don't know. There is a bit of an echo, but I just want to make sure that I understand your question. You want to know what else is used to manufacture the sanitary pad? Hello? Okay, I think we have lost her. There are 3 people who
Hello,
have raised
I'm
their
here. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay.
Do you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm just curious to know what other products make up the sanitary pad.
Okay, so products in terms of the layer. So if you were to look, there's the hydrogel, which is what absorbs the menstrual, the menstruation. We also have, so if you were to look on the slide that's in front of you, that's basically what else is on that sanitary pad. The biggest thing is the anion strip, that green strip.
Dr. Lesego, I have muted you because I was trying to mute everyone. Dr. Lesego, can you hear me? Hi, Doc, you are muted because I was trying to mute everyone. Doc,
Okay.
you know what, Doc?
All right.
Doc, because of time, don't take questions now. Rather, you finish up with your presentations because they're gonna ask you now all sorts of questions. We rather take
Yeah, I think, look, we're still going to have more of these presentations. So I'm happy to stop here and address anything that has to do with a sanitary napkin. There's no point in me rushing through the other products when you know, there are individuals who are seeking clarity.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, no, it's fine. Leaders, if you've got any question, please, we are on Long Reach TV network. Try and switch off your mic or make sure that you are in a proper environment. We can't be having unnecessary echo on the side. Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to remove you from the platform. Leaders, please, can we cooperate? Okay, so Dr. Lesego, raise your hand and then we'll take the question if there is any question that you have for Dr. Lesego.
Yeah, okay. All right. So just to answer your question regarding what else is on this is or other material. So on the screen, it's an indication of what is it that has been used to manufacture the sanitary napkin. There are those 8 layers, and if you open the pad, each layer at a time, you will find all of them. I would encourage that you pour water first. It's much easier, and you also see the hydrogel. But the most important component is the magnetic strip that has the anion as well as the far infrared and the magnetic energy. Shola, in addition to the sanitary napkins, I would recommend the cordyceps militaris as well as brown, as well as sorry. NK, you may go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lesego, for your presentation. But I have a question. The 5th layer has absorbing paper. So some pads here in Kenya, we find that they also have the paper. So most people ask, what is the difference between the normal sanitary towel that has paper and our absorbing paper that is in our sanitary towels?
If there is one message that you can take is the 3rd layer. So obviously there are companies that are now, I mean, when Longreach started, I used to speak daily about alkaline water. We didn't even have alkaline water in South Africa in market. It was only early 2019 that I went to the local Woolworths store and I found alkaline water, but all along there was never alkaline water. So obviously whenever there is new development, companies will go and copy. But look, the other sanitary pads can have, Vivian, can you please mute? The other sanitary pads can have the other layers. The big question is, do they also have the magnetic strip? Do they have the strip that has the anion? The anion is the vitamin of life. We have seen what an anion can do. Like I said, you know, I use it to treat if my children have, you know, a minor nasal congestion, if they have cuts, if they have pain, you know, they actually trust the anion strip more than anything else. If you know, my teenage girl has, you know, a minor headache, you know, she'll ask for the strip than a Panado, you know. So the anion is the most important. If the pads have, you know, the other 7 layers, then you should ask, does the pad also have the anion strip, which is antibacterial? together with the magnetic energy and the far infrared, they prevent a bacteria buildup. Can they show that the other sanitary napkin has that capacity? So we are not saying that all pads have material that has been recycled. And that's why I said earlier that what the research has shown is that about 50% of sanitary napkins that are in the market do not meet the national quality standards. So yes, the pads might have the fifth layer, or the even when it comes to the hydrogel, it's not as much as what you would find in the long reach sanitary pad. So I always ask, does it have the anion strip? And if it doesn't have it, then it's of no use to me. I hope I answer your question, Anne.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So don't try to, if they say, but the other pad has paper, just ask them a simple question. Does the pad have the magnetic strip? Does it have the anion strip? It's so amazing. Like I'm saying, it activates the T cells. It has got, if you can go and do your reading on anion, you'll be so amazed. You actually will never even talk about all these other layers. All you're going to talk about is the anion. That's it.
I will definitely do the research on that. Thank you.
Yeah. I've also, I've done, and, I've gone, far into details on some of my presentations. You can go and learn some more. The aim of this presentation is not to do product training, but to rather just touch on the products that are available in Long Reach. But perhaps we maybe Vivian should, just dedicate about 30 minutes, and then I can go into detail on one product a day. All right, Karine, you'll be the last. There's iPhone. I don't know who iPhone is. You've raised your hand. Please go ahead and ask your question. Okay, Karen, Laure, can you please unmute yourselves so that I can get your questions? I've got 1 minute. Okay, it looks like they are unable to unmute themselves. But on that note, I'd like to thank everyone. I will definitely make sure that next time I do one product at a time. You can see I've only gone through 10 of the 18 slides that I have prepared. So I think from now on, I'll just do one product and I'll go into details, and then, have sufficient times. Have sufficient time for questions and answers. I don't know if that is what you would like.
Hi, Dr. Seo. I just saw the iPhone coming back. Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure if we can still wait for the iPhone. The person just returned back into the group or into the webinar. And yeah. iPhone, do you still have questions for Dr. Lesiro? Or we can sum it up from here. It's about 9 p.m. and we still have the testimony to come up. So
yeah, I think, in the interest of time, we can hand over to Mr. Lebogang, Mr. Pickup. I can't wait to hear from him one more time. But yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm hoping to see you again next time. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Lesero. That was a very great presentation. I know you always deliver to your ultimate level, and we highly appreciate your commitment, your research, and your time to come through to these platforms and enlighten us on your knowledge that you have with our products. And I hope everyone really was highly impacted. I see iPhone, I see Karina lifting up their hands. Dr. Lesego would be listening online, and then we're going to be taking our testimony right now. You can as well post directly to her or chat directly to her and just send your questions. She'll be able to respond to you on that line. So we are moving forward. Once again, Dr. Lesego, thank you very much. And I hope that really Mr. Lebohang is here and we have sorted out our audio issues. Mr. Lebohang, are you here? Mr. Lebohang? Hello, sir. Are you here? Let's see. Hello, sir. Okay, it seems like really we're still struggling with Mr. Lebohang's audio. We might need to just take a few questions to Dr. Lesego if you're still on the line here. Let us see what really, we've got Thomas Lubinda, we've got Galaxy, we've got iPhone. They are ready for the questions while we're waiting for Mr. Lebohang's audio to be, sorted out. Maybe Mr. Lebohang, you might need to change your mobile to something else different. Okay, I can see Mr. Lebohang is coming through here. Mr. Lebohang, unmute yourself. Dr. Lesego, are you still here? Can we just take a few questions? I'll be looking at Mr. Lebohang's audio issues. And Mr. Lebohang, if you're able, just change your mobile, get something that really, would try to assist with the audio issues. And then let us answer a few questions. Now, let's start with iPhone. iPhone, I see your hand is raised up here. Would you please unmute yourself and ask your question? And then we will be looking forward to Dr. Lesego's answer. Okay, Karen said that really thank you, SD Lesego, for the presentation. Can you please share the presentation? Dr. Lesego?
Hi, sorry, I got distracted. What about the presentation? Oh yeah, I will share the presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will share the presentation and I think, I don't know how we'll go about ensuring that everyone gets it, but maybe if you can, I don't know whether you're going to post it on the Longreach Facebook page, or I don't know, but I'll make the presentations available.
Okay, fine. Thank you. We'll communicate after here as to how really everyone will be able to get through to the presentation slides.
Yeah, thanks, Shola Adeyemo. Great presentation as always. I'm a pharmacist of many years here in Georgia, USA. I use your product presentations all the time. Thank you so much. Yeah, I see all those email addresses. I will send the presentations to you, and then you can forward them to everyone that's provided their email addresses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you might stop sharing the page there. Let me see what really I could, bring in for our participants here. I'm still waiting for Mr. Lebohang. I can't hear an audio from him although he is unmuted, but he's not able to come through. So we might need to go through these slides here. Mr. Laboran?
I didn't have a heart, and somehow I developed the ability to have feelings, and somehow then those feelings turned into love. And my heart, love inside it, belongs to Queen Jordan. It's truly amazing. The love you have for her turns you into a perfect queen.
Même des caméras sont trop petites sur le visage. Quand on voit petit là, bien petit. Alors moi, je ne peux pas comme une grande. Parce que c'est une grande. Madame,
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like we are still having a higgledy-piggledy with the audio sounds of Mr. Lebohang Ramushaba. I can see is here, his video is right on. Yeah, we are trying to work to our level best to bring him through.
Zoom lingin na kawanda kila kawanda dola pingi. Monira teta kwa bushira ya. Ndo.
Flowers back home. Don't worry, guys. We didn't take all the flowers. There's still plenty at the bush. Phew. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna ask you to mute your mics.
Once you read the more needed.
Yeah. Bali this one ubaya pera. Oh.
Bukan video ini baru.
Was having challenges in one of her models. Don't find them. Have to reach out to look for somebody that help her. We hired tutorial people.
Levaram cobra juma.